We're gonna present the 6 Hofstede dimensions and how they are reflected in Colombia, Finland, and China. These 6 dimensions are power distance, individualism, masculinity, uncertainty avoidance, long-term orientation, and indulgence. Then we will talk about the similarities and differences that are found in these 3 countries, and finally, how they can affect the behavior and performance of the business.
We recognize some differences and similarities between Colombia, China, and Finland. The first of them is that China and Colombia share a masculine culture where the achievements and the competitions are a main factor in which the monetary and economic things are very important. In compared to Finland, where there is a more feminine culture, where the well-being is very important, education, and the economic achievements are in a second place. Other similarity that we found between Colombia and the other countries is that Colombia share a collectivist culture with China. In this culture, the power and family relationships are very important, and the relatables get normally a preferential treatment compared to Finland, where the society is an extremely individualist society in which or where the merit is very important to get development.
Another aspect that we can analyze is the power distance. We can see that Colombia and China are higher than Finland. This demonstrates that these 2 countries are normalizing more the inequalities in power terms. Also, we have the dimension of uncertainty avoidance, where we can see that Finland and Colombia have a higher preference for avoiding uncertainty than China. And finally, in terms of normative oriented in long term, Finland is slightly less normative oriented than Colombia and China. And this is very important because it shows that Colombia have a great respect for traditions and normatives established in the past.
As Finland is the most individualistic country, we can suppose that this characteristic is not very present in business culture or purpose. Indeed, data confirm that social responsibility in Finland is more personal and people don't build business around it. In Colombia, there are restaurants such as Wok or Crepes and Waffles that have social purposes on their DNA and culture, and this is part of the value they are offering in their business proposition. These business models aren't present in Finland because the social framework is more a personal and intercultural thing that you must have. Also, the government in Finland takes on a much bigger role regarding the welfare of citizens.
For example, when we compare the 3 countries on the dimension of power distance, we can see that Finland ranks much lower than the other 2 countries. In a society like Finland, workplaces typically have hierarchies only for convenience purposes. So this can mean, for example, in the case of Finland, that communication towards managers is direct and informal, and managers typically trust their subordinates. Meanwhile, in China and Colombia, for example, the subordinate-superior relationship is much more formal, and managers typically have more power than in countries that rank low on this scale.
Okay, according to the chart, we can also see that China and Colombia have a higher score of masculine than Finlandia, and that means that this type of society will be driven by competition, achievement, and success. And this success is defined by the winner, the best than the others. So this is important to know that it starts in the school. This value system starts in the school and continues through the organization life. An example of this is the Chinese people, that they prefer to sacrifice family and leisure to spend more time working and be better than the others. So we have a clear example in the Chinese people.